Hello, hashtag listen family. It's Kelly Hendricks back with another episode of The Theatre. With me today, I have for Joko. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to hashtag listen.
Thank you, Kelly.
It's great having you here.
Nice.
Could you start off by telling us a little bit about your journey? What sparked your initial interest to go into the fashion industry?
Well, when I was a kid, I loved drawing. And then by the time I finished, just towards the end of my matric, I didn't know what I'm going to do. And then one day I came back from school and I saw Rich Forrester designing on the boat.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And I was like, I want to do that.
Sure.
Yeah, that was it. So, because I was doing maths and physics.
Wow, that's quite powerful.
Yeah, so it was two different. So they thought maybe I was going to go into medicine or something. I just decided I want to do fashion.
Sure, it is weird that fashion can spark from just the television show from our childhood, but that's amazing.
Yeah, because I used to draw and I thought, what am I going to do with this drawing thing? Yeah.
So is fashion your main focus, or do you have other ventures or businesses that you are involved in as well?
No, for fashion is my main, like making clothes is my passion.
Okay,
yes.
That's great. So what are some of your the initial challenges that you faced while establishing your brand, and how did you overcome them?
Well, I still have a lot of challenges because like in Kimberley, we don't really have much of the support when it comes to having to grow a business, especially a clothing business, because you are competing with shops like your retail stores.
Yes.
So it's not easy for somebody to say, I want to go and design for weddings and for Jokos, and like, people complain about pricing and all of those things. Yeah. But the other challenges, I think that's the main challenge, is people not being willing and open to actually buy a design product.
Sure.
Yeah.
So how do you go about differentiating your brand in the fashion industry? And what has been your approach to your unique brand identity?
I try to keep it as relevant to the people, like to keep it as street-wise as possible, because that's where most of my inspiration comes from, like to relate to your everyday person, because we in Kimberley, we're not in Cape Town or Joburg where you want to design those avant-garde garments.
Yeah.
People having to go to functions wearing dresses that are 6 meters long,
Sure.
Yeah.
So would you say that your brand more speaks to more like street style? Is that your brand identity that you?
Yeah, my main focus is my casual clothing.
Okay.
Yeah, and then your design clothes is mostly for weddings, matric dance, maybe you go to a function.
Okay. Yeah.
But my main focus is doing my casual brand.
Okay, and do you do ready to wear, or only you do ready to wear as well?
Yeah.
Sure. So what were key decisions or turning points that helped you accelerate the growth of your brand?
Well, it's growing slowly, but it's the passion and the belief that I know I'll make it one day.
Sure.
But when I look at it, it's still small. That's a baby. But for the years I've been in, I understand the process, because when you do something on your own, like I wouldn't say there's much support from government or anything, and I don't want to make it an issue.
Sure.
You understand? So I'm pushing it with my own passion, my own, what do I say? Dedication towards it. I'm giving it my all. So that's the one thing that keeps me going, and obviously my kids.
Sure. Yeah, it's important to leave a legacy at the end of the day.
Sure.
So we'd love to know about your creative process and your inspiration that you draw from. So what would you say inspires your designs? You've mentioned you wanted to relate to the average person. And how do you approach going into like a new collection?
Well, most of the time it will be determined by, like, I follow other trends as well, like your international trends, what's the latest, but trying to modernize it more towards how we are, because in most cases their seasons are before our seasons. Yeah, but then you need to see, okay, how do you tap into what's currently trending, but make it your own. Yeah, that's what I normally do.
And how do you stay creative and innovative? Are there certain practices or routines that you do?
No, I just try to run. Like,
Try to
yeah,
run.
when I run, most of the time, remember when you're on the road, you're alone most of the
Yes,
time.
that's
So
true.
that's where you get to have a clear mind of a lot of things. What do you want to do? What's your next move? If this is a corner or you find yourself in a corner, how do you get out of there?
Sure.
So yeah.
Would you say that running has helped you a lot with your mental health and just overall
Yeah,
wellness?
mental health wise, it has helped me because
Sure.
when you in this kind of business, like it's not easy being a creative because like there's no much growth if there's no support.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
when you don't have that kind of support, you find yourself in a depressive state. Like I'm doing this thing, I don't see where it's going. You want to give up, but then like running helps, like to just go and clear your mind, come back with a fresh mind.
Sure.
Set.
A fresh mind, not
Mindset, yeah.
necessarily a fresh body.
Yes, no, definitely not a fresh body, fresh
Yeah,
mind.
no, I know. Being a runner myself, it comes with a
Yeah.
lot of pain afterwards, but
Yes.
it makes the journey worth it.
Yes.
So how would you say you stay true to, or how do you balance staying true to your brand and your unique vision, as well as adapting to the trends and outside markets?
Well, I try to do like any piece that I work on. I just try by all means to make sure that you will see there's a for Joko element in it.
Sure.
Yeah, like as you can see, this is like red, black, and white are my colors.
Yes.
So there will always be element of that, especially in my casual, ready to wear kind of clothing. There will always be that, but I try to always play around other colors as well.
Sure.
Your traditional colors,
Yeah.
yeah, your Venda, Tsonga, all of those.
Sure. So we know we've spoken a little bit about challenges and triumphs. So every business has its
Has
highs,
those,
its
yes.
its lows. Could you share like particular challenging time and how you work through it?
Well, the most difficult time was when we had COVID.
Sure.
So that
Yeah.
time, like, remember now, you have rent to pay, you have kids to feed. So, like at that time, people are not going anywhere.
That's
So people
true.
are not making clothes.
Yes,
So there's
yes.
nothing that, and there's your only source of income.
Sure.
So, but luckily then people had to wear masks. So, like you won't believe, I literally spent all that three to 4 months living on making masks only, and I was so surprised that they were actually selling.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
managed to pay rent and support the kids.
Yeah,
with
it
that.
was obviously your approach to adapting to the
Yes.
current state.
State, yeah.
You know, and the only thing people were wearing was pajamas and masks.
Yeah, that's the only thing that they were wearing. They were not going anywhere.
Sure.
Can't visit, you can't do anything. So there
That's
was no
true.
need for making clothes.
Making clothes, yeah.
Yeah.
And what are some of your proudest moments or achievements that you've had in your career so far?
When was it? 2015. Yeah, I think it was around 2015. I was selected to do it was the diamond. Like there's a competition that the PS has where they find students to design collections. It's called Shining Lights Award.
Sure.
They have it in South Africa, Botswana, and Namibia.
Yeah.
So I was lucky to be nominated to design a collection to go with those winning pieces in South Africa. But then after I designed my collection for the South Africa, they also decided to add me in the Botswana and Namibia.
Sure.
So I also did those because they were supposed to find a designer in each of those places.
Countries, yes.
But then I did all three of them.
Okay, did you get to travel to the country?
Yes,
Oh,
it
great.
was one of the best highlights of my life.
Sure, sure. Now, traveling is also a way that you can find inspiration because you
Yes.
get to meet with other people, you
people,
get to see
different
how other
people,
cultures
yes.
live.
Yes, I also did the Ghana Fashion Week.
Yes.
When was that? 2019 or so, I think. Yeah.
Sure. And how was that? How
That was my
experience?
first international showcase. Yeah, so it was like difficult and
Yeah.
also learning in the same process, like because you went out there, did what you can.
Yes.
When you got there, you say, "Oh, right, this is a big stage. I could have done better."
Yeah,
you know.
sure.
But yeah, we learn every time.
Yes, no, that's
Yeah.
important. And are you looking into doing more fashion shows locally?
Yes, the reason why I haven't done a fashion show myself is like I have this vision of a fashion show that I have in my mind.
Okay.
And I until I can execute that and get all the sponsors involved to showcase that, then only will I have a fashion
Okay,
show.
so we have a fashion show to look forward
Yes,
to.
it's just
sometime
something
soon.
that's in my mind. Yes.
Okay, no, that's great. So you mentioned obviously traveling to Ghana, traveling to Botswana, and to Namibia. How have these experiences shaped your perspective of what it takes to run a successful business in the fashion industry?
Well, it taught me a lot because you got to move from designing for your average normal person to a CEO of a big brand like De Beers.
Yeah.
You understand? Because after all of that experience, I managed to get clients on that level.
Sure.
So it means even your product has to, like, when you, like, not that when I do something for you, I don't care about the quality, but like you really now in that zone, like when you have to design a suit for Mandela, like, Rocky, it's every stitch perfect. You
Yes,
understand?
yes.
So it takes you your work, your design process also to another level where every single piece of it needs to be perfect.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It helps you to grow as well. Yeah. What are some of your core values that guide you both in your personal life as well as your professional life?
Well, discipline and respect. Like, respect is the ultimate. Like, I don't care how much money you bring. If you don't have respect, I'm not going to help you.
How would you say those core values influence your brand?
Well, a lot of people have this tendency, but it's based on because of those values that like they can't approach me. I have this wall. I'm always serious when they come to me.
Sure.
It's like, it's not that. Like, when a person comes to me, you can't just come and want to say and do what you want because
Yeah.
you have the money.
Sure.
You understand? So there has to be that mutual respect.
Yeah.
So that helps me to see, like, to put myself in a position where I don't compromise my product and myself in the process.
Sure. And looking ahead, what's your vision for the future of your brand and for the fashion industry as a whole?
Well, my vision is to grow the Joko brand into other, but first I have to have a store in Kimberley.
Sure.
Because my my product range is increasing, is growing. Because I have sneakers now, I have socks, I've got all of those different. I'm looking into going to like glasses as well. So,
Sure.
but before I get to all of that, I need to have a store because the store is bigger. Because now I'm working from my studio and it's a very small space.
Yeah,
So when
sure.
people come in, it's for those one-on-one items, and then your ready-made is just a little small space. But because of the product, the range is growing.
Yes.
I need to get them into a store.
Are we seeing some running items in the future?
Yeah,
I know you already started with the socks.
I have started, yeah. You see, that's the other thing. Me going into the running opened myself to, okay, there are people actually doing this active lifestyle. So how about I move my brand also along those lines
Yes.
of having active wear? So I'm also looking into expanding it because I started with the socks now.
Yes,
so I'm
yes.
going to get into tights, vests, and shorts, all of those things.
And it's actually insane when especially when you travel. Well, especially like a runner like me that's also very much a girly girl, A race is your fashion show.
Yes,
So I think it is a great opportunity to
where
also
people
expand.
actually showcase their different running gear.
Yes, even when you're wearing a certain team's vest, but you still want to expand and look fashionable with your socks or with whatever. But it's a great market as well.
It
and I
is.
think you don't realize how big the market is until you find
yourself in it.
that. Yes.
Yes.
So are there any, besides the store, are there any new projects or goals that you're currently working on and are excited about?
No, not really. Now, right now, I'm just looking forward to actually working hard to get the shop. Yeah, that's like my main focus now. If I can just get that shop up and running, and then I'll see next year where we're going from there.
Sure. We're excited for the store. There might be someone on this platform that is listening in, that's hearing you. So don't be afraid to say. So let's talk to some of our aspiring designers or even just young entrepreneurs. What advice would you give young aspiring entrepreneurs and designers who are just starting their journey?
Well, first of all, you need to believe that whatever that you want to do, you must believe in it, and you must not let anybody tell you otherwise.
Sure.
Because if you don't believe it, you're going to fall off the wagon just on that. Because you're going to face storms, you're going to face no clients, you're going to face clients talking bad about your product.
Sure.
You're gonna face a whole lot of challenges.
Yeah.
But if you have a vision and you know, yeah, this is where I wanna get at, this is where I see myself being, then you just keep going.
Yeah.
Even if with all those, but like negative criticism, you take it in, you go back to the drawing board, you check
Sure.
how true is it, because sometimes other people they have a tendency of criticizing you not because they want to grow you, but they want to kill you.
Sure.
So you take what they say, reflect on yourself, and see how truthful is it. And if there's a bit of truth in it, you improve it. But if you see, that was just malicious, I don't bother to even take
Yeah,
it in.
sure.
You just move.
So, how do you put your brand out there? What are some of the marketing tools that you've used to tell people about For Joko?
Yeah, well, the only tools currently that I'm using is my social media platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah, my Instagram, my Facebook, and my Twitter.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then in terms of personal growth, what tools or resources or mentors have you had or used in your journey to help you?
Well, like those are critical things to have if you want to grow. But unfortunately, for some of us in Kimberley, I've never had the opportunity to have a mentor.
Sure.
Like I said in the beginning, everything that I do is a work and learn.
Yeah.
I do everything myself. I learn, I falter there, I pick up, I learn. So those kind of things are important. Like even now, I mean, I'm based in an incubator center, but those kind of things that an incubator is supposed to have, like mentor and all of those things, are not happening.
Sure.
Sure. We just having platforms for SMMEs where they need to grow, but the people who need to make sure that these SMMEs grow, they don't do what they're supposed to do.
Sure.
So
And
you're just on your own, basically.
Yeah. How do you think we can overcome that? Because I can imagine that is it's not just a you issue. That is something that a lot
small businesses are going through.
Yeah.
They're all experiencing the same thing. You go and knock at a department door, you hear, no, talk to somebody says talk to somebody, that person is supposed to help you. I don't know, do they have this thing that if I help Joko, he's going to become this big shot? I can't. I don't know what's in their head.
Sure.
It's like I can't really tell what these people are thinking when they're supposed to be doing what they are paid to do. It's a simple process. I'm employed to do this. If somebody comes and knock at my door, I need to help them with 1, 2, 3, and then I get paid at the end of the day. Just do your job.
Okay.
Simple as that.
I want us to do something. Let's dream a little bit, right?
Okay.
So let's say, for instance, everything that's involved in your business currently, whether it is the incubator program, let's say it works the way you imagine it to work, and For Joko becomes this big brand that we want it to become. Yes. What does that look like? What does the day-to-day look like?
It's you walking in a pavilion mall and seeing a big wall glass shop that says For Joko.
Sure.
With every item of clothing that you can think of.
Sure.
Yeah, and probably not just, but in Kimberley, that's the vision.
That's the vision.
And then taking that same vision to all the other big malls in South Africa.
In South Africa, sure.
Yes.
Now it's working it backwards. How do you get there? So what would you like to see from maybe government or whoever is supporting these incubator centers?
Look, like I said, I'm a do-it-myself kind of person, like try something and falter. It takes long to get there.
Sure.
But then when you have all these people who have all the knowledge, the skill, and say, to come in and say, okay, let's sit down. This is what we think you need. So you say you want to see yourself at the mall. Okay, what do you need? First of all, do you have the capacity at your little studio to to produce products to be in a store?
Yeah.
You start there, you look at it, okay, no, I only have two machinists that I work with. So those 2 people can definitely not fill up a store.
Yeah.
So we need to get more machinery, more people.
Sure.
You understand? So all those things are processes that needs to, like you said, we starting from there. it starts from the production part of it
Yes.
to make sure that you get the proper machinery, you get more people in there, you get to produce more items, you put them in store. All those things need what? Administration. How good are you? I'm a creative. I want to tell you right now, I'm not
Not
good.
great at
I'm not
administration.
a
Sure.
administrative person.
Yeah.
Those are some of my challenges.
Yeah.
Like every time I find myself, text, I need to fix my, I need to get my text clear. And like, you know, see,
Yes.
those are the things that I'm always, like every year, not up to standard.
Sure.
Because
And
I
those are
just get
things
in the
that can
studio,
make or
design,
break.
have a product in my mind, want to design it, cut it, produce it,
Sure.
and that's it.
Yeah.
I forget all the other items.
And those are the things that can make or break your
Break you.
business, especially in the creative
Yes.
space. So we do need all of the help that we
Yes.
can get.
Yeah.
And those are some of the things that could, be overcome easily if you had a mentor that can help you, that can
Yes,
coach you.
that's what I'm saying. All of these other things, I do it myself, falter there, learn, okay, I shouldn't have done that, do it
Yeah.
this way, go around that door, not through it, you understand?
Sure.
So,
So if for Joko was to start at the beginning of your career, what would you do differently, or is there anything you would do differently?
Well, my beginning is very inspirational because I started with a small machine in the back shack of my grandmother's house.
Sure.
And now I moved from there to a place where I have people working for me. I have a couple of machines. So I would say the start was okay. So
Yes.
I wouldn't have loved it any other way. Because that experience taught me resilience.
Sure.
You understand? So unlike if I had to start probably already with, it would have been a good start if I had probably already all those machinery and all those people. I would have been that far, but I would have lacked that passion of starting something from scratch,
the ground
with
up,
your own
yes.
little money,
Sure.
with no. So that now that you've started with your own little money, you see what you could do with it. Now you are ready to say, okay, now you can put in your money. I've shown you
What
that I can do on my own.
Sure.
I've moved from this point to this point. Now, if you give me that money, I can take this to another level.
Sure, that's powerful.
Yes.
Do you have any last words to share with our listeners?
If you have a dream, go after it and don't look back. Just keep going. Even if you fall, get up, try again, and keep going.
Sure, that's powerful. Thank you so much for Joko
Thanks
for
for
joining us
having me.
at #Listen. We really love to hear about the different experiences, and we hope that through this platform we can also help. As much as we want to help aspiring business owners to see how people go through it, but also to help people in the current
Yes.
space to grow and become more. So we're looking forward to that store in the
Thank
Diamond
you.
Pavilion
It
Mall.
will happen.
We're
I know
looking
it will
forward to the
happen.
fashion show. We're waiting to see it, and we'd love to have you back once that happens.
Once that happens, I would love
interview
to
you
be
again.
back.
Yes, thank you so much, and thank you so much to our audience. Please like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to our channels #Listen, and we'll see you in our next one.
Thank you.